Okay, hi again. Okay, so my next book review is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Okay, for those of you who don't know what The Hunger Games is about, it's years in the future, quite by the sound of from what we can tell in the book, it's hundreds and hundreds of years in the future. But basically, in the future, the government of America, which is seated in a large city called the capital, basically they've set out a charter called the I forget the actual name of the charter they set out, which basically involves each of the 12 districts offering up 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl, between the ages of 12 and 18, I think, if I remember rightly, and these 24 children in total take part in a televised fight to the death called The Hunger Games, which is obviously the namesake of the book. It is a really, really, really good book. You get really, really attached to Katniss. You get attached to her sister. I got somewhat attached to their mother, along with Gale and Peter as well, but you also think, I thought while I was reading, what on earth made the districts feel so trodden down that they would not happily give up their children, but would make them want to give up their children to keep peace. Whatever it was, it must have been truly awful. But it's really, really beautifully written. You really get a lot of emotion out of the book, actually. It's really, really good. So again, for those of you who don't know, the story is told from the narrative point of view of Katniss Everdeen. In the book, we meet Katniss's little sister Primrose, but everyone calls her Prim. Their mother. We also meet some of the other tributes from the other 11 districts. Haymitch, who, I'm not going to spoil things for you, but in the first chapter, I think it's the first chapter, the first or the second chapters, Haymitch makes a bit of an ass of himself, which is funny in a way it's funny. And we meet a whole host of other characters, and I'm not gonna lie, it is a really, really good book. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest you watch the movie first, because for me, the movie was a bit of a letdown. It really was. There was so much they missed off of the movie. Again, if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, spoiler alert, the words, "I bet my buttons that was your little sister," that was changed to, "I bet my hat that was your little sister." One word. One word. They could have left that one tiny little word in there. Seriously, I know this probably sounds really irrelevant, but it was one word. How could you want to miss off one word? Like, what is wrong with you people? Why? I can understand them skipping Peter's artificial leg. I mean, that would have cost quite a lot to make and or CG or whatever they wanted to do with his leg, but I can understand that. I can sort of understand them not having Haymitch drunk during the movie because, hang on, where is it? Because it's like a 12 or something. But really? One word? One word. That's all I had to do. I bet my buttons that was your sister. I mean, I know it seems really insignificant, but, you know, why miss it out? Okay, but anyway, back to the book. It was a really, really good book. I really, really did enjoy reading it. It was really, really good for me. Okay, well, see you next review.